Okay, should be up. I am Nigleria. Hello. This is the NASA Q&A. Version 2, I guess. This is the second stream/video. But first, I'll say, just to the people who may or may not be familiar with NASA, it's the North American Speedrunner Assembly. Uh, Basically, that I took it from how ESA, the European Speedster Assembly, is based off of like or it's analogous to the European Space Agency. I just made a North American one at God's suggestion for the name. The goal of this channel is, I guess, to just promote more regional on-site marathons. Like if people anywhere in North America, like in British Columbia or like Mexico City, they gathered a few people around their region and just wanted to do a little speedrunning get together for a weekend. I could give them the stream key for that, and I'd like to see more shit like that throughout the countries, throughout the world, really. More regional marathons would be more fun. So I guess the mission statement would be to promote more on-site runs, promote speedrunning in general, and speedrunners specifically in underrated speed games. Now some people they've questioned if we already have in Europe they have ESA and it's far away. Like if in North America we already have GDQs, why would we need a NASA and more marathons? And I just say why not? More marathons isn't necessarily bad, and there's already Midwest Speed Fest, DeuceCon, Californiathon coming up. Like more regional marathons, I don't think is a bad thing. As well, like GDQ specifically are charity focused events, and I'd like for NASA to be for this one that I'm working on at least to be a speedrun focused. Like it won't be accepting donations for charity. It won't be raising money at all for any charities. It's just going to be about speedrunning. I don't think it's necessarily bad if an event wants to raise money for speedrunning. There's nothing wrong with or raise money for charity. There's nothing wrong with that inherently. But I'd like for this event to be primarily about speedrunning. The upside of that being that when you're raising money for charity and you have stuff like that, games that are just straight up not popular but are otherwise good speed games, you'll have to cut those out just because it's not going to raise money. Whereas a speedrun centric marathon wouldn't have to. The hotel I've chosen, the first thing I looked for is actually 24/7 food joints in Chicago or near the Chicago airport, and this one is nearby, 2-minute walk from IHOP. That's 24/7, and there's a few other restaurants in walking distance. So that's how I chose the hotel basically. I just first I looked for that, and then I looked at the hotels that are near the airport and near 24/7 IHOP and have a sufficient conference space. The marathon, it's going to be the 19th to the 23rd, and it's going to be 24 hours. But I'm planning on having an open block each night to deal with scheduling issues. Like if we go if we're early or late on schedule, if we miss time, then we could use that 3-hour open block per night as needed. Otherwise, we would just insert whatever content. If there's people like at ESA, there's a lot of hype around Barney at the time. We're discovering speed tech to it. And, if people want to play Mario Party or some shit during open block, they could. But the rest of it would be, the scheduled speed running, and that would be like a 3-hour buffer that we could add or remove as needed. There will be an attendance fee based purely on the cost of the conference space, which will be $2,800 for the entirety, divided by the number of attendees. I might actually be able to pay for a good chunk of that out of my own pocket, just because I've been saving up for something like that. So it could be, attendance, cost of the conference space minus something divided by the number of attendees. The way capture for video is going to work is basically I'll be converting everything to HDMI. I have the linked in the equipment thread. I'll open up now. I think it's a Cypress CM939 scaler. Two of them that I'm going to be buying off of Edenall, and those will scale composite S video whatever into HDMI, and then the capture cards will take that. The reason being is that most capture cards have a lot of easier time with like the digital signal HDMI than analog stuff, and it also has hardware deinterlacing, so you don't need to worry about shitty deinterlacing or using separate programs for that. The audio mixer I bought, I have right here. It's also listed. It's 4 mic inputs, 8 quarter-inch, and 4 RCA in that are listed that are there. And then there's 2 RCA out, USB out, or 4 quarter-inch out that I have adapters for, like a quarter-inch to RCA adapter. I have 6 of these, I think, or 8 that I use to test out. We'll probably just use USB or for the computer though. I've also heard people say that one issue that they had with NASA was that me personally being involved in it, that that they view me as like a giant asshole or being like overly obnoxious, which to some extent is true. I'm opinionated and abrasive, and I don't hold back any of my thoughts. I just let them out there, and some people have a problem with that. I'd say, or I'd hope that even if you do have a problem with me, that I'm just one person involved with this marathon. Like of the people judging games right now, there's currently 17 judges, so I'm like 1/17 of what this marathon will be on stream anyway. Off stream, I'm still just one person amongst the attendees. So if you do have any problems with me, I'd say try to dissociate any issues you have with me from this event, as I doubt they would be relevant. Maybe they would, depending on how general your problems are. So that's some quick questions about the event. See ya.